This session is about static. So first we look into static variables. So if we take the meaning of static, static means pertaining to the class in general and not to an individual object. Static means not to an individual object and for the class in general. So here we discuss about static variables. A variable may be declared outside of a method with the static keyword. So a variable may be declared with the static keyword outside of a method. So just like the example here, static int num tickets sold. A static variable is shared by all instances, if any. All instances may be able to read, write to it. A static variable that is public may be accessed by class name dot variable name. Example math.py class dot variable name. Right, now we look into static methods. A method may be declared with the static keyword. Static methods live at the class level, not at the object level. So when you use the static, it's always at the class level. So the static methods live at the class level, not at the object level. Static methods may access static variables and methods, but not dynamic ones. So if you have methods, the public static int get num sold, return get ticket sold. Static methods may access static variables and methods, but not dynamic ones. So now ticket sold is a static variable. So in the previous slide we have the static variable num ticket sold, static int num ticket sold, and we are accessing that variable inside the static method. A static method that is public can be accessed with class name dot method name and with the arguments, just like the example. Double result equals math dot square root sqrt 25.0. So just like this. And here's another example. So this is the example with static. So we have the static variable which is shared, and we have private int tick num which is 1 per object. So example output ticket dot get number sold 0. So if you look into the code again, And here we have public class ticket, private static int num ticket sold 0, and we have the constructor. So we'll run this example using Eclipse. And we'll create a class called ticket. And we have the getters. So let's get this code. So we have this example, public class ticket. So let's try to see these examples. So if we run this code, have this will print 0. If we have the next line, we have t1 dot get ticket number, this method. It will print 1. In this scenario, number of tickets sold is 0, which is a static variable which is shared among all the objects. So if we inside the constructor, that static variable is incremented and the new value, the new number is assigned to ticket number. Ticket num is not a static variable, it's 1 per object. It's a normal variable, it's not static. Remember, ticket number is not static. Therefore, ticket num variable is available 1 per object. Of each object, this ticket number is updated with the class variable. Now we can see, first we ran ticket.get number sold. So at the first run, if we clear this and comment this, if we run this, we can see it is 0. Still a ticket is not issued, so the get number sold is 0. And here we create a new ticket, and next we call get ticket number. So now we have created a ticket. Therefore the constructor will be executed, this line will be executed, and the number of tickets sold is incremented. This class variable is incremented, and that variable is assigned to the private int ticket num, which is not shared, that is 1 per object. So if we create another object, it will also have its own ticket num variable, but the number of tickets sold is shared among all objects. Therefore the value will be updated. So if we take an example, we created a new ticket object and we call get ticket number. We will get 1. So if we have ticket number, it will be, we have number of tickets sold So if we run this, first number of tickets sold 0, and we created a ticket, and inside the constructor the static variable is incremented and assigned to the instance variable, and therefore we are getting the value of the instance variable get ticket number. It returns ticket number, which is this one, available private int ticket num, and inside the constructor it gets the value of the static variable. Therefore the ticket num is 1 now. Now we can see it prints 1. So if we debug this code, if we can put a breakpoint here, if we debug, So debug pointer comes here, ticket number. So the number of tickets sold is 1, ticket number still it's 0. Once this line is executed, it will be 1. So here it is 1. 1 will be assigned to ticket number. And we get the answer 1. So if we debug it again, it comes here. Now the class variable number of tickets sold, it is 1, it is 0. Number of tickets sold at the first run, it is 0. Private static int number of tickets sold, it's 0. Now here it's 0. Now we increment it. So in the next run, so if we play again, now it is incremented. Now you can see the value is 1. 1 will be assigned to the ticket now, and it will print 1. And if we go for the normal mode again, if we create another ticket, T2, so the next ticket will get the ticket number 2. Now if we get the class variable, now if you want to get the number of tickets, so we have this line. So the class variable is updated. The class variable is shared among different objects. So this object, ticket 1, ticket 2, will both have only one static variable, one class variable, that is num ticket sold, that is retrieved from get num sold. So there's only one static variable which is shared. So here we have commented, just to denote it, private static. When we use static, the variable is shared among various objects. So it's a really important point. When we have a static variable, that variable is shared among objects. Various objects will share that variable. So there's only one static variable which is shared among various objects. So if we run it again, number of tickets sold 2. So the number of tickets sold is shared among objects, so we can keep track of it. So if we have it in between, it will show. You can see the number of tickets sold is updated. In case if we remove this static, we will not be able to access it like this. Cannot make a static reference to non-static method. So if we call it with t1, so if we make it t1, t2, you can see that the count in the tickets the purpose is not achieved. So if we run it, ticket number 1, number of tickets sold 1, ticket number 1, number of tickets sold 1. So we have issued 2 tickets, but the number of tickets sold has not properly counted it, and the next ticket number is also 1. The whole scenario is messed up. That is because various objects will have their own variables. The variables are not shared. That's an important point. Variables are not shared. So if you want to share it among all objects, we use static. We use static to share the variable among all objects. So we have static here. Now this variable, this class variable, now it's static, it's shared among all objects. T1 will also have it, T2 will also have it. Now class those variables can be called with T1, and we have a static method here, get number sold, which returns the static variable. So we can call that static method with the class name dot. Ticket get num sold, and if we run it, you get number of tickets sold for 0. Once we create a ticket, the ticket will get the number 1, and the number of tickets sold will be 1. And when the next ticket is created, it will get the number 2, ticket number 2, and the total will be 2. So just like that we can track the total, because the static variable is shared among all objects. So that's the example that we discussed, static context. To have standalone application, we need public static void main string args method. The main method belongs to the class in which it's written. It must be static because before your program starts, there aren't any object to send messages. Right. This is a static context, a class method. You can send messages to objects if you have some objects, d1.bark. You cannot send a message to yourself or use any instance variable that is static. This is a static context, not an object. Non-static variables cannot be referenced from a static context. So non-static variables cannot be referenced from a static context. So in that example we had a static context. So if we access the non-static variable ticket num, it will show ticket num cannot be resolved to a variable. Okay, we have this exact name. There is cannot make a static reference to the non-static field. it says there are messages cannot make a static reference to the non-static field tick now. So this is non-static, it cannot be inside a static context. That's the end of the session. We'll discuss more about static in future sessions.